We got T-boned by a car while we're on the ATV. My leg gets smashed in between the car and I get thrown off of the ATV. Madhu is nowhere to be seen. I've no sight of vision of where he is. The helicopter was 100% necessary because there was no hospital, there was no doctors on the island, there was no medication.
It had 2 doctors who were in their first year of residency. Their singular ambulance driver
was on vacation, but they have a system.
Which is when he's traveling,
the mayor will drive.
And I'm sitting there spiraling and I'm having a full panic attack. I rip the IV port out of my arm. Now my arm's spurting blood all over the place.
They send the manager in. He also told us like multiple times, it's amazing you're alive. We get people coming in every day that die or get brain injuries from being hit on ATVs. Welcome back to the Conscious Success Podcast, where we're going to do something we've never done here before. I sure hope it entertains you as much as it definitely entertains us. What we're going to be sharing here today is one of the craziest stories of our life. I wish I could tell you it was fake. It's going to sound fake, but it's not fake. It's real, and it's going to blow your mind, and it's a time that we pretty much almost died in Greece. And anyway, check this out. Okay, so I just want to say, I want to set a little bit of the scene, and it's an interesting motley crew we have here today, and it all makes sense why the three of us are sitting here having this conversation. So the setting of the scene was that me and a very close friend and mentor led a retreat together where we both brought about 45 people to Greece, 3 of us included, and about halfway through the retreat, we were on an ATV, a 4-wheeler, and without going through all the street details, the streets, there was maybe like, would you say 30 cars on the island?
Yeah. And it was just the 2 of you on the ATV.
Yeah. So my wife and I, so I'm driving the ATV, my wife's on the back.
Well, I think it's an important detail to say that the island is so small.
700 people live there year round. That's
our primary way of transportation is through ATV. So it's strange, like Madhu was saying, there's not very many cars. So everybody's driving ATVs around everywhere. That's how we got everywhere.
Like no one's driving a car. They're not even seeing cars
I was
around.
so, like, my conviction of wearing a helmet was so strong the entire trip. And I was like, we have to wear a helmet everywhere we go, even if it's just like down the path, whatever, because again, everything was so close-knit together. And this one morning, I was like, oh, well, we're just going right there. Like, I guess I don't need to wear my helmet.
We're going like 200 feet. We're like, oh, right there.
Proceed.
Yeah. And so the ATVs were super wonky. And we were like coming down a gravel road. And long story short, as I was driving, the ATV kind of slid slightly into the road and off this, we said gravel road?
Yeah.
And then one of the few cars on the island clips the front. I go through the windshield, crushes my wife's leg in between the vehicle and the ATV. And I mean, that's kind of just setting the scene. We'll get into the specifics here in just a second, and it was absolutely wild because the person who was driving the car was an orthopedic surgeon. Go figure. And I think it's also important to say this island did not have a hospital. And it had 2 doctors who were in their first year of residency. And what they had to do is go to remote places. In Greece, this is just how they roll. When you're in residency, you have to go to a remote place and you have to serve there for a year to do your residency. So we're in the island called Folegandros, and we get hit and there's no one around at this point. But you thought I fell off the cliff?
Yeah. Every time I tell this story, by the way, I immediately start shaking. I have full-blown PTSD from this accident, and I've gone through a lot of therapy for it, but like every time we tell it, I'm like shaking. So if I look like I'm like freezing, that's just what's happening. But yeah.
Yeah, you thought I fell off the cliff.
Yeah. So we were right next to...
Oh, that's an important deal too. We're on a cliff.
We're on a cliff.
Blind, like corner, like absolutely where like no one, at least whenever we go now, which you don't go.
We won't go back.
But no one uses that like entrance or exit that.
No
from the village, everybody got
that from it.
This is a terrible location.
Yeah, it's a complete blind spot. And it's right on the edge of a cliff. And so we got T-boned by a car while we're on the ATV. My leg gets smashed in between the car and I get thrown off of the ATV. And I land on my side and Madhu is nowhere to be seen. I've no sight of vision of where he is. Mm-hmm. And so in my head, it's so interesting like how shock and adrenaline in the mind works. Like my leg had just been crushed in between a car. So I'm like on my side and I'm like, okay, we just got hit by a car. I'm alive. I'm okay. I didn't hit my head. My leg really hurts. Oh my God, where's my husband? Because I'm thinking he got thrown off the fucking cliff. Like, I'm literally like, he's like, where did he go? So I'm looking around, like, I don't see him. And the people like rush out of the car and they like come to me. And I'm like stand up on my very injured leg. And I'm like searching for Madhu and I see him, thank God, didn't fly off the cliff, on the edge of the cliff, sitting there. And yeah, the people got out of the car,
They were
came
like
to our
in their
aid.
70s, and
Yeah.
he was on vacation from Switzerland as an
Yeah.
orthopedic surgeon, and he immediately came out and he said, "Don't move." And he saw, because I guess I didn't remember so many details. My head again went through the windshield, it was fully cracked, and so
Like, it
I'm
looks like
sitting
a
there.
basketball smashed into the windshield.
Yeah, it
literally.
was like
That's what it looked
crushed,
like.
crushed in. And so, yeah, anyway, I looked for you and I was there. So we just kind of held each other on the side of the cliff. He comes out. He's like, "Don't move. I'm an orthopedic surgeon." And then I just, in a full state of shock, start screaming, "Help!" at the time. And he's like, "Calm down." And I'm like, "No, you don't understand.
Yeah, these are
I
people.
have 50 people here that need to
Yeah.
come down now and help make sure we don't." I'm also thinking, oh, I just probably experienced a traumatic brain injury.
Correct.
I mean, I already felt the swelling. It was like coming off in my head, and I was like, okay, I might pass out. I might go unconscious. I need to make sure someone's gonna like make sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully, say, keep me alive, take care of my wife. Help, help! And unfortunately, one of I think it was Megan Fox who came down, a dear friend of ours, and she kind of ran down, and I was like, "Go get everyone!" So they come down,
So everybody comes down,
and it's like about the time you come down, right?
Yeah.
You're like hearing this commotion.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
People actually were down there first. I got there a little, like maybe 10 minutes later, because I came down by the time that everyone was like really chaotic. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Why are all these people doing things? This is really like not the program. There shouldn't be so many people standing around. Like no one needs, like they don't need all these people around.
Yeah.
They need
Yeah.
a couple people to like figure out what they're going to do. Like
Yeah.
we don't need a scene, like what's happening.
but it was a full scene.
it was a full scene.
Full scene.
Everybody wanted to jump in and help. It was really chaotic. And Madhu and I always make the joke that I'm calm in stressful situations and stressed in calm situations.
yeah.
That's my
And so
girl.
I'm like centered in cord, like an ambulance is coming. I'm like communicating with everybody and I'm like checking on Madhu, like bing, bang, boom, like navigating it.
You were like, can you please do, okay, this is what I need to bring with me.
Yes.
You had like a list.
Go get this, go get that. I'm telling this one woman, she had a camera. I said, take pictures of everything for the insurance, like on it. And the orthopedic surgeon, he's holding my leg propped up the whole time. And he tells me, I'm going to need surgery.
Well, he says, with certainty, this is broken. He
Yeah.
said, with certainty, this is broken. So he actually, on the side of the road, it almost makes like a, you know what hodgepodge is? Like a
Actually,
hodgepodge
The
cast.
that was
Yeah.
the EMTs. They came
Oh,
and
they
they brought,
came,
yeah,
okay.
including him. The EMTs came and they
Well, it's
brought,
actually, it's the two resident doctors.
correct,
actually what it was,
the
who came in
resident
ambulance.
doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have an ambulance?
They
yeah,
did
yeah,
have an
yeah.
ambulance.
It was like a cute, tiny little
Yeah,
island
and
ambulance.
we'll get to
Wait,
who drove it.
I thought the mayor.
The mayor
Okay,
drove
okay,
it.
yeah.
Mayor was
Okay.
driving.
Yeah.
So hold on. So I'm not there yet. So they're fucking like putting what's it called? Paper mache on my leg.
Paper mache.
On the side of the road to create a cast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're also like shooting me up with lidocaine because apparently the
Wait.
drug.
If you guys don't know what lidocaine is, it's what they use to numb your gums when you're like getting an extraction.
It's like a very like localized anesthetic.
Yeah.
So it's a very mild pain reliever. Nothing like anything they should have been giving me. I should have been getting like straight up Vicodin. But
Something.
they were just jabbing me with needles, putting lidocaine in my butt. So not only am I like in excruciating pain from my leg, I'm also burning in different parts of my body. Because by the way, when you get shot up with lidocaine, it burns.
Yeah.
It's not like oh wow, like this is some vein champagne, like I feel good, like pain reliever. No, it's not like that. And it's very temporary also. So I'm on the road. I'm getting this cast built on me. I'm in so much pain. And
Oh, then we ended up at their little clinic.
A whole little,
yes. So then we get,
but hold on,
yes.
even before there though. So they sat me in the,
Yes.
they sat me in the car that was pretty much totaled. The one who hit us because when the
neck
ambulance
brace
came, they put us in
yeah.
this big neck brace because he also told me, he's like, your leg's broken and you probably have a TBI. traumatic
By
brain
the way, this
injury.
is like so aggressive of someone to say.
I know, but it wasn't like you might. He was like I remember he looked at us and he goes, with certainty, we need to get you to a place.
Don't
you
eat
need surgery.
anything.
Start fasting now, so we don't have to delay. And we're just like, and I'm just like sit. So anyway, I had to sit in the car. He's like, you have to sit upright. So I'm just like sitting there smiling, like everyone's like, you okay? Oh, I think so. We'll
Did
find
your
out.
foot hurt also?
Oh yeah, I sliced my feet up to the tendons. Like my tendons were revealed and
Yeah,
stuff.
it
It's really
actually looked like
gross.
your bone was revealed.
Yeah,
but
everyone
we
thought
found out
my
it was the
bone,
tendon.
just a tendon.
Thank God.
So my feet were all sliced open.
We get into the ambulance. They bring us to this fucking white room.
Wait, it's literally. Am I being? This is the thing. The three of us, you guys know we're not making this shit up. Okay, this is real. We went into, and it was probably about 8 by 15 room.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
Yeah, they also
Like a
didn't
hole
have
in the wall.
bathroom.
No,
There's no bathroom. I peed in a bucket. Shri helped me.
That's right.
And,
And this is
yeah, I'm a picture of you holding the bucket, and I'm pissed,
Well,
and my legs.
literally. You're
Yeah.
literally
Right.
You're literally pissed. And sorry.
Yeah.
And this is how Shri really started coming to save the day. So we're on the side of the road. There's like dozens of people. All of our half of them are also like my friends, my students. So everyone's just like freaking out. I'm like one of the leaders of this retreat that now has to leave.
Right.
We're being told you got to go to you can't go to these small islands. You have to go to a legitimate hospital in Athens.
You can't go to Santorini.
Can't go to
That would've been
Santorini. Yeah, which we could have gone to in like an hour. So we're just like getting prepared. And so literally we're looking around. We're like, we need someone to help because I'm like hobbling because I can't really stand on my feet. And you're obviously can't do anything.
Before they brought us into this white room, though.
Well, but before in that white room, I want to say where Shri came in because.
Well, I was going to say they brought us into the ambulance, and they go to bring me
Yes.
out of the ambulance to bring us into the white room, and they drop my gurney on the concrete ground. That was the first time they dropped the gurney. Gurney drop number 1. And Madhu freaks the F out.
I
and he's
actually I start crying. So, but this is like
and
an
I'm in
hour.
good spirits. I'm laughing. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
all right.
she was.
She's
I'm like,
laughing.
it's fine.
I start bawling my eyes out.
I was
I couldn't do-
absolutely in shock.
You're super lovely.
I couldn't do anything about it. Was the thing is like I'm looking at you getting dropped, and I can't even like move, and I'm like stiff. So I actually start crying, and my brother shout out to Kenai, grabs me, and he's like, "I've never seen you like." I'm like, "Yeah, I've never seen me like this," and like there's just nothing I can do for you. So I actually started like freaking out. But then what happened was we were like, we need someone to help be with us for this journey.
Yeah.
So even before we got to the hole in the wall clinic, we're like looking around and we unanimously go, Shri.
Yeah.
We're like, and you're and Shri, you are, as we often say, what's
Such
the
a
term?
mensch.
Such a mensch. But even more, the term that we use is what do you
Ride
call
or
it?
die.
Ride or die.
Oh.
You're like such a ride or die. And so we immediately like, we need Shri. And everyone there, we love everyone. Like it's all good. But we were like, we need someone who can get this stuff done.
And actually, our mentor was strongly like,
Yeah. He was also like, yeah, 100%. He was like, and boy, oh boy, did that turn out to be one of the best decisions of our life is asking you to just dedicate 24 hours to our service. And so you're with us. So it's the three of us now. And there's some people still like, people packed our bags and like brought us to, it's like a half a mile down where this hole in the wall is. You're peeing in a bucket. I'm just sitting there and they're like, oh, we should like we should sew up your life. I'm like, don't even think about me. Think about her. We gotta like
which
just
was
don't even
sweet of
worry
you,
about
but also very dumb.
It was pretty dumb.
Everything was taking hours and hours of time. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, because they couldn't find someone to drive because then there was a big debate about what kind of helicopter for you guys to go on.
That was another
we had to
thing.
get helicopter.
We had to get
So
helicopters
you had
off the
to do
island.
a regular helicopter.
Yeah.
That would have been much, but you couldn't be lying down. That was the problem.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
and
my
she
leg
needed-
had to be
she
picked
needed
up.
to be in the
and so there
actual-
was space for yeah.
I just
That's
also
how
want to
we
say
the Medivac situation.
Blue Cross Blue Shield. I am currently still dealing with injuries from this accident. I was just on the phone with Blue Cross Blue Shield the other day, and they denied
Yesterday for
one of my
like-
insurance payments because they were like, "Oh, you didn't."
This is also
wasn't-
3 years ago. we should
This
also
wasn't
say.
Right.
Yes, I've been calling Blue Cross Blue Shield for 3 fucking years, and yeah, they just wrote me back and they were like, "Well, there's no proof that the helicopter was necessary." I hope you listen to this.
Like
One of
sending
you Blue
pictures
Cross
of
Blue
us.
Shield,
Stretcher.
Yeah.
what are they called? Employees,
Yeah.
whatever, and you see that actually the helicopter was 100% necessary because there was no hospital, there was no doctors on the island, there was no medication. They built a cast
they did
on me
have
on the
two
side of the
residents
road.
and some lidocaine.
Right.
Residents in lidocaine.
That's what this episode should be called. Residents and lidocaine.
Yeah.
Ah, they were super lucky.
One of them was very handsome.
Yeah, super cool. I was like, you seem too handsome to be
okay, like-
qualified.
Right.
You know?
And then they were, so anyways, okay, so we're in the room, we're waiting forever, we're trying to figure out which helicopter to take. We have to take a medical helicopter, which is astronomical, have to pay all of this out of pocket, mind you,
Well,
which is,
it's different. It's a different medical system where they're like, yeah, we can order the helicopter as
But
soon
you
as you
pay-
pay the 10
right.
grand just up front, just for like the down payment.
and I'm
But,
like, don't worry about it, my insurance will cover it. So, so anyways,
Plot twist. Didn't occur.
yeah, 3 years later. Anywho.
didn't happen. So
So we're in
anyways,
this hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Finally, they send the helicopter, and it's with a doctor on it. So it's actually like a legitimately trained doctor.
Did they have a doctor on the helicopter?
From Athens, yes.
I don't remember.
No,
you were
I
in the front.
was
You were in the
on the-
front.
oh, on the
Yeah,
helicopter,
in the
not the
helicopter
ambulance.
ride itself.
So they put us in the ambulance, take us to the helipad.
Well, you have to start. You brought up this idea of the mayor. So literally,
Yes.
So I think it's really important to say their singular ambulance driver
Was on vacation.
was on vacation that week,
But they have a system.
which is when he's traveling,
The mayor will drive.
the mayor, whose
Who
name
does
is-
it?
what was
She
her name?
was a woman, which
I can't remember it. Mrs. Papadopoulos, something like that.
Yeah.
She was really sweet.
and she just like also like had never driven the ambulance.
Correct. So I remember we're like, I don't know if she ever driven a car before. And so your gurney gets dropped like 2 or 3 times
Yeah. So it got
because
dropped.
they didn't know how to,
Going
because
in.
the ambulance guy was on vacation.
Correct.
So, whoops.
So they dropped,
It
they
kept
almost
falling.
dropped me going back into the ambulance to take us to the helipad. Then we get to the helipad and they drop the fucking
Yeah.
gurney again. And at this point, I mean, everybody's cringing because we're like, is this real?
And now you're
Everyone's face
just
was
kind of
literally
off
this.
and you're becoming
a little pissed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's face is literally like this.
Should have been pissed after the first drop, but I was
No.
trying to keep good spirits. I was like, all right, this is where we're at.
This is gonna be fine.
Everything's okay. Like, we're getting
We'll be
it's
there in
fine.
an hour.
Yeah.
This is
Nope.
not.
We're gonna be at the hospital where they can give you medication
Oh, we're so excited.
in an hour.
So
I haven't even.
So that's, I know, right? So we get driven by the mayor to the helicopter. When it arrives, the doctor comes out and he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Look, we're like, I'm like bloody, covered in stuff." Rati's pant leg was cut off.
Oh yeah.
So she's like, it's like flailing because, they had to put a cast on. So, I mean, we look so rough already. And Shree's like always like looks fantastic. And it's just like, and it's like
Together,
very put
yes.
together. And it's like such a scene.
Okay, you guys ready to go?
Yeah. And so
so
they're like, where do you want to sit? And then so Shree, it's actually a beautiful helicopter ride, right? You have to like sit there.
I was like, oh well, I guess okay.
And
I
so-
mean,
I
don't
didn't
think it was
see
okay.
anything. I was
Yeah, she didn't see anything.
Oh.
She's bad. And so I'm like
They-
sitting up though.
And they had nothing. This medical helicopter that they demanded we use because I needed
For your
the
safety.
proper
Yeah,
facility
yeah, yeah.
had nothing to prop my leg up. So what did we prop my leg up?
backpack.
Backpack,
On our back.
other back,
Yeah.
jacket.
They needed to keep it elevated.
So bad.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
And then the doctor, I'm sitting across from him, and he's just like filled with compassion, just like, what? And we kind of tell him what happened. He's like, does she have the paperwork? And I was like, what paperwork, brother? And he was like, from the residents, they didn't give you and we're like, dude, like, did you not just hear the story? Was like,
There's no
like,
paperwork.
what paperwork are you talking about? And
Yeah.
he goes like, and I remember because at that point I was like, oh no, what have we gotten into? Because I remember he's like, oh boy, and so he like gets a form, starts filling out, like asking us these questions. So the first
I don't even
paperwork,
think they took your vitals.
no
No.
one took our vitals
Yeah.
until the
We were-
hospital.
The first
Yeah.
hospital.
The first hospital we were at. Well, so
Yeah.
then we arrive after what must have been a very beautiful sight for those who are flying in a helicopter. So we arrive in Athens. They send us 2 ambulances. This is one of the first times where Shree starts saving. I mean, you were saving her like the whole time, but like this is the time where they send 2 ambulances.
Oh, yeah, I was so pissed about this.
Yeah,
Yes, Shree is a force to be reckoned with.
reckoned
And
with.
we really saw that when we were in the hospital.
She's like
because
full mama bear.
at this
for us.
point, I'm still keeping cool, level-headed. Like, there's some funky elements, but I'm like, whatever. Like, this is where we're at. I'm just taking it as it comes. Like, it is what it is. Shree is just guns ahead.
diligent,
Like, yeah.
focused.
Yes, taking care of everything. So we get to the hospital and we have this ambulance driver that is harassing us to pay him.
But they speak.
No,
only
first they
English.
wanted to have 2.
They want to have 2. Yeah. So Shree pretty much is like one ambulance. We're all going together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they fought, but fortunately, you eventually like had
Yeah,
your
they wanted us to
way.
be split up. And I also
Yes.
was annoyed because it was going to be another charge.
Correct.
I was just like, your whole system sucks. He doesn't need another. This is
Yeah, it's like,
ridiculous.
I'll sit with her.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you kind of finagle with them on the spot. And then we arrive. And then the 2 or 3 of them are following us around. And you're like,
Oh, yeah,
get
this is
out of
so
our
annoying.
face, dude.
It's actually so annoying.
They're like chasing us around. So we like get into the
I
hospital.
forgot we didn't pay them.
I
originally.
know. Well, because everything else was immediately out of pocket. And then, so we just like, we're like, you already paid because we're like paying for this, that, the other. Like my car, I just remember thinking like, I
I
don't
know
lose
we
my
didn't pay.
car.
I was just trying to keep going.
Oh yeah, no,
So
Shree
good.
was full blown like,
They've
well,
taken
they brought
enough
us
from
here.
us.
We don't need to
They've
pay it.
taken enough
Like,
from us.
we're done.
Well, but that's the thing is, and then they wouldn't even like they like walk us in, and they wouldn't admit us to the hospital until we had a down, whatever it was, a $5,000, $10,000 down. They would not let us in the stretcher, everything until they had a down payment.
Right. This is
I remember
this is
just
a
being
private
like,
hospital.
private
Second hospital was a
Yeah.
public one. Anyway.
Yeah.
which people are like,
So-
second hospital.
So
you
wait,
say.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
But so I'm laying on the bed, and
Well,
mind you,
we finally get in.
well, I was
finally
laying on
get
the
in.
bed. Even I wasn't admitted yet, but I was
Oh,
laying there,
in the lobby.
and they're waiting to touch me because
Yeah, this was so ridiculous.
we needed to do a down payment. So Madhu's taking care of that, and I'm shaking like a leaf because I'm in so much pain and I've had no pain medication. So finally I'm like relieved, like, okay, they're gonna like give me some pain medication
Yeah.
at the hospital. Madhu puts the down payment.
Which
they
is also
come
like a
in.
different section of the hospital, so it's like
Yeah.
a whole ordeal to go and come back.
They come in, and Shree's like, she needs pain medication right now. Like, you need to administer pain medication. And what pain medication do they give me?
Taking guess.
Lidocaine.
Ding ding ding.
Which is also crazy because you actually can only, I'm pretty sure, I'm obviously not a doctor, but only have so much over X period because it's actually, there's some,
It's a toxin.
well, I don't know, but something about your heart. You actually
Oh.
can only have so much at a time.
Fantastic.
Which, by the way, they have no idea how much you had earlier.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
that's
they're just
amazing.
like shooting her up with lidocaine.
Honestly,
My God.
good. Because at least you got something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was the pain medication of choice. Then they do this super ghetto thing where they take scissors to cut my cast off. And these are like regular scissors.
They're like shear, like
And
cutting,
they're
like fabric
I'm
shears.
so scared they're gonna cut my leg because they're like grazing my leg as they're cutting the cast off, and I'm like, this is
Well,
unreal.
and it's really important to say this. No one speaks English. This whole experience, the first person that spoke English was the doctor in the helicopter.
Yeah.
And then when there was the doctor when we arrived, but interestingly in Greece, they don't teach English as a second language. You have to learn it separately. So meanwhile, like it's important to say this whole thing's going on. Well, no one.
The
speaks
ambulance
English.
driver this whole time was still following us around, like
Correct.
regularly trying to come into the room.
Yeah.
And I also was trying to stop you because you were like, Shree, let's just like end it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
ridiculous. I'm like, no.
And she's like,
this
no.
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. Plus,
Yeah.
like, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
But he's definitely like Moses, and he's like talking to us in Greek, like, and we're just like, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Go away. You know?
right. Which
Oh,
we ended up
my God.
meeting him later.
Well, no. Then, so they at this point, so pretty much two things happen. This is where you and I finally separate. They then start to take you for testing.
Oh wait, by the way, we're in Europe, and so
Oh,
What
this
does
is during
everybody
COVID
in-
also.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what does everybody? This is 2022.
They do the nose swab thing. For
So
the
they
COVID
test me,
test.
whatever. By the way, in Europe, everybody smokes cigarettes. Like it's like a
Not everywhere, it's very common.
it's a very
yeah. Including the doctor who doesn't wash his hands before he comes back.
yeah. So my
doctor.
doctor is like reeks of cigarettes, keeps leaving smoking, coming back.
We like see him out
leaving
there,
smoking,
like,
coming back.
and then
I'm like,
coming back. We're like,
"Are-
bro.
like this is an emergency. Hello, can you just like take a break from your own addictions and just kind of keep me in focus?
I'm
Right.
here on lidocaine, guy.
So then they separate us, and I had to charge my phone. It was dying, so I left my phone in the hospital room that we were all
Which
in.
is also an eternal pastime of my dear Rati, is her phone's, I don't think, ever above 20%. Just saying.
So I left my phone behind. They go to run a bunch of
And
tests
none
on
of us
me.
could go with you to get those tests.
Right, I was completely alone, and they take me. I'm getting ultrasounds done. I'm getting X-rays done. I'm whatever, blah 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 blah. So I'm in the ultrasound room, and like we said, nobody speaks English, so they're all speaking to each other, whatever, blah blah blah. And ultrasound rooms, they're dark. They're doing the test. It's dark in
So
there. That's how
eerie.
ultrasound rooms
Yeah.
are, and all of a
And
sudden,
not like in the West, not like what we experienced in America. Very like kind of like a dingier version, smaller, eerier, dingier version.
So a doctor comes in while I'm just finished the test. They're like analyzing things. There's a few people around, and they say something in Greek, and then everybody leaves.
Wait, so
And
pause. Now, let me tell you we have to know what's going on simultaneously because this is the best. This is like the best plot twist. Got to build some anticipation for this. So while this is happening, the EMTs, the ambulance drivers who are totally harassing Shri and I, they send the manager in, the head guy. I don't remember what his term was, and he comes in. He speaks English, and he's pretty much like, "Guys, we brought you here. You have to pay." And I was like, "Fine, whatever. Like, no problem." And he was like, "Yeah, but you have to pay the special way." And I was just like, "Oh my God." So he's a big guy, maybe like 6'2", burly guy. He's carrying me because I can hardly walk. I'm like limping. So he's pretty much carrying me to like an ATM, but that card's not working. So it's like this whole ordeal. But I finally like pay him, and he feels terrible because I told him what happened. And we like ask the people where the ATM is. They're like downstairs. He like walks me downstairs, and they're like, "Oh no, you're on the wrong floor." And they're like, "Walk me." So it's like this whole ordeal. So I'm spending like 15 minutes with this guy walking, hobbling around, not knowing we're in full anxiety about what's happening to you right now because we can't be with you, can't contact you, know nothing. And so like I finally pay this guy, whatever, a couple $100, and and he's just like, "I'm just gonna hang out and like make sure you guys are okay." Like and he also told us like multiple times, like it's amazing you're alive. Like we get people coming in every day that die or get like brain injuries from being hit on ATVs. That happens all the time. And so this is what's happening. So I then get back to the hospital room, and now we're just sitting there waiting to find out what comes with you. And then a doctor comes in and says the same thing this doctor came in and told you, which was what?
So I'm in the room in the dark alone because everybody just left me. And I'm kind of like, that was weird. Like just a gut feeling like that was weird. What was that? And then a doctor comes in and he goes, "Have you ever had COVID?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "When?" And I said, "I don't know, like about a year ago or something." And he goes, "Well, you have it right now." And then he just leaves. Now it's all starting to drop. Like I'm in a different country. I have no idea what their COVID protocols are. Are they going to keep me here? Are they going to make me stay in the country? I'm supposed to leave. I'm like, now I'm absolutely terrified. I don't have my phone. I can't contact anybody. I have no idea where I'm going.
We don't even know where you're in the hospital.
I can't
we don't even
leave
know where
because I
you
can't
are.
walk. My leg is completely, I have to be horizontal. Like it was such a terrifying moment. Like immediately, like any good spirits that I had was just like, okay, like we're going, dropped. At that point, I was like, are you kidding me? Where is everybody? Then somebody comes in and they take my gurney out and they're like banging it against the walls and like super rude, as if it's my fault.
Right.
And they bring me into the hospital room and they had told Madhu and Shri that I tested positive for COVID, and so they were kicking us out.
So at this point, then I started talking with the manager. I actually liked that guy.
Yeah,
The manager.
me too.
I was trying to get drugs from him actually, because they weren't giving Rati anything.
Yeah, lied again.
But then I started also just like taking different like supplies because
Oh, no, hold on. Let's be very honest. Shri was doing the best work of literally rummaging through.
Ransacked every cabinet.
Like all the things we might need to survive. Yeah,
I was like,
for sure.
I don't know what's gonna happen now, so we better figure this out ourselves. So and like trying to collect like stuff in like your bags and stuff like that.
Literally, because that's an important thing. We're literally the
all
whole
of our
fiasco's happening
yeah.
with our like 2 suitcases and backpacks.
Yeah, that was such
and like
it's very difficult to move around because
of
you had
so
those
much
things, but you guys
baggage.
were immobile.
We had like pun intended. We had so much baggage, you know, and so literally you're like grabbing gauzes and tapes and like stuffing them in her bag.
And then they needed, and I was like trying, like even like saline or something. I don't know. So then they wanted to send us in another ambulance. So they're like, okay, you need to go to a different hospital, a public hospital in the COVID ward.
COVID ward because we don't have a COVID ward, but this is the only place they'll treat someone with COVID, which you and I didn't have COVID. Which is also wild.
Why?
Like,
I don't know if she get tested.
She didn't get tested.
Oh, again, I didn't, which is also like a weird thing that she would
why
have it. I didn't. They did test me.
I know, but why? They
because I was there
with you.
Well, they didn't test you too.
No,
because just entering I remember they're like, we're entering here, and I remember the swab, and I hated it so much.
I don't remember. Maybe they did.
Maybe
they did.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of things happening.
So
definitely a lot of things happening.
We're so frustrated. We're waiting for the ambulances to come to bring us to this COVID ward.
That same ambulance guy took us though, right?
No, different one.
Different
so we're in the room and the ambulance guy comes in
So
from the original
this is like
ambulance.
the head of the
Actually really like
business.
that. Yeah.
Super
nice.
sweet guy.
Yeah.
This is the
He's
one
like,
who
what can I do?
who carried me around. Who's like, I'm just gonna hang out and make sure. So he's in the room with just 3 of us, and him and his partner, who has some weird foot fetish thing too. We'll get into it. But
Yeah, he kept commenting on my toes.
I forget what he gave us.
Well, I'll tell you what he gave us. So we tell him what's going on, and he's like commiserating. He's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is so horrible that you guys are going through this, whatever." And then he like looks at us like he's gonna like do some sly deal, shuts the hospital room door, and he goes, he's like, "You can't tell anybody that I did this for you. It's really horrible that you haven't been given pain medication. I can't believe that. I'm gonna hook you guys up." I'm like, hallelujah.
But in the action, it's like full blown like scheme. Like the one guy's on the close the door on the other side of the door.
Yeah, like making sure nobody's
like a
gonna
full
come in.
scheme.
And then he takes out a vial, and I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be like real. Correct. Pulls out a vial, and I'm like,
I
oh,
was like, any type of drug.
amazing.
We'll
There's
take
tons of
any
different
ibuprofen.
painkillers.
We'll take
That's like
ibuprofen.
antidepressant painkiller.
Yeah.
I don't
And-
want another anesthetic.
And then he literally goes,
poor Rati.
I'm like, what is this that you're gonna like put in? I'm like, stoked. I'm like, it's gonna be morphine. It's gonna be something like to fucking help me. And he goes, oh, it's lidocaine. And I'm like, you're kidding.
And he's literally doing like a whole operation to give us, and we're just like, he's like, this is so illegal. Don't tell anyone I did this to you. And we're just like, grateful for his kind, but we're also like, we're so defeated.
Oh my God. So then we go.
Really
And
don't have
then
a
his
lot of
partner,
drugs
they didn't have any
anyway.
drugs.
Like,
And his
anywhere.
partner keeps commenting on your pedicure.
Yes.
He's just like, very nice pedicure. And I'm like, bro, enough with my wife's toes here, brother. Like, I'm like covering your toes.
I'm like, you can't cover my one toe because it's like in
Literally.
the cast.
It's like the toes are on. But he's like, very nice pedicure, though. Literally.
So then
We finally get
fast
an
forward, we
ambulance.
get into the ambulance,
to the
whatever. We're going to
ward.
the second hospital. We arrive to the second hospital, you guys. I'm going to try to set the scene as best as possible.
It actually is a horror. Like if you were
Yes.
to make like
Make a horror movie set.
Yes.
it really like it was
Yes.
unbelievable. I actually
Yes.
couldn't believe it.
Well, it's also important to say, like, the sun's down at this point. So it's probably
dark. Now
like,
it's
it's
done.
like 8 p.m.,
Yeah.
8:30. So the sun's down. They drop us off and the ambulance is gone.
Oh, I did try to get all the like paperwork from your scans.
That's
Yes,
right.
we didn't have
the
any results.
DVDs and the
Because they
and
want
all-
us
yeah,
to give
yes.
it to, you were to transfer it
Right.
from one hospital to the public hospital. So you have all of these stuff.
Stupid.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the
I mean,
entrance to
good,
this
but yeah.
hospital is lined with fences. And then the top of the fences have barbed wire. It literally looks like the entrance to a prison. It's
Yes.
literally
And it's
imagine
dark.
it's
a dark,
black.
and so
black outside.
the whole abandoned hospital is dark except for one
Yes,
lit
and
room.
I'll tell you what, I think it actually must have been an abandoned hospital because I
Yeah.
went hunting for
Yeah.
a
There's an
wheelchair at one
abandoned
point,
hospital.
and there were no other rooms. They were all blacked out. They had like broken chairs, broken
Yep.
lights, like nothing. I was like, I don't even really ever think about ghosts or things like that, but I was like, this place is
was
like creepy
scary.
and like like
There
I don't
was
know
like
what's
flickering
happening.
lights,
Yeah.
literally like
And I was like
Literally.
walking
Literally.
around. I was like by myself because you're with Rati,
remember,
and I was
yeah.
like, oh, this is actually quite dangerous. Like what is happening
could
in
die
these
here.
rooms? Like it actually looks like a haunted house type.
that is
situation.
exactly how it looked,
Literally.
like a set for a haunted house. So lining the entrance is these gates.
And we're
Then
talking about this.
one
We're like
gate
freaked out walking in. This is
Alongside one
spooky.
gate is a long set of benches.
Mhm.
And there's 2 women sitting on these benches just like kind of sulking and
Well, it's
depressed.
actually like sobbing. Like they're older women that are like hands in their head, like sobbing.
waiting.
And we're like being, and this is like, we're like being wheeled. She's being wheelchaired. Or are we on the? No, you're
I'm
still
on
on
the
the.
gurney.
No, you're still on the gurney. We're like being gurneyed, and we're passing, and it's like we're getting this eerie feeling. We're seeing these like crying women, no one else in sight except for one lit room.
Right.
in the
And then that
corner.
light is like really bright light.
Fluorescent bright, yeah.
And everyone in there is like old,
Yeah.
like really old, and looks like they're dying.
No,
Literally.
they were dying, Shri. So I'm wheeled in to this hospital, this one lighted hospital room, and they put me on a bed. Mind you, I mean, how big was this room? It wasn't even as big as this
Yeah,
studio.
maybe like
No, it
15
was
by 20.
Yeah, it was this big. There
Okay,
was like
maybe like
six,
as this, yes.
Yeah.
Everybody
beds.
is about a foot away from each other. and there are people actually dying
Well,
from COVID in
moaning,
there.
like, I like legit. Tell me if this is a
Yeah,
dramatic
no, that's
sound.
accurate.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I was like,
This is a perfect Halloween episode.
it was shocking.
Yeah.
They also didn't even have curtains in between the people.
No.
It's like you were just seeing people like
Completely,
deteriorate. It
yes.
was such a night. It was incredible.
So immediately, Shri treats people with OCD and is a therapist and is amazing. I have OCD. Immediately, I look at Madhu and I said, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, wait, by the way, I would like to know what was on these scans. So I'm just asking them, can you like see what's on these DVDs or
Yes.
CDs or whatever? And they won't. They're having like a whole scene. I don't remember what they told me.
I remember you arguing with them this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Full
arguing with the
arguing.
doctors. And I'm looking at Madhu and I said, get me the fuck out of here. And he said, okay, like calm down, like just wait, like we'll take you out in a minute. I said, no, I need to get out
Well, they
right now.
put an IV. They gave you an IV.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
the
I had
whole
an IV.
time she had this.
I had an
Oh,
IV
for
the
the
whole
whole time.
time. An IV.
Okay,
the
okay.
whole day, pretty much.
Yes.
So then it was just determined that we're not staying. So I went to go find a wheelchair.
Yeah. Well, what happened was, so she hobbles off, and I'm like freaking out, trying to like carry her out because she's freaking out. So I lay her on the bench outside.
Wait. First, they said you can't leave. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Obviously, we can leave. Who cares what they have to say?
Yeah.
So then, okay. Then
I jump off
leave.
the gurney.
Then
I jump off the gurney. I'm freaking out. I start to have a full-blown panic attack because Madhu is not
Full
taking me
panic
seriously
attack.
enough. And
I was like, sweetheart, it's okay. Like, just give it a second. And they're like, where's she go? She can't leave.
I'm a germaphobe. I'm now vertical for the first time since 8 a.m. And I freak out and I hobble out to these benches on the outside. And I'm sitting there and Madhu's like, I'm having a full panic attack. Like, I need to get out of here. I need to get like
also to where, by the way.
Right.
No, we're just, it's just,
I know.
we just know we just have to get out.
Get out.
Like,
Okay, we'll call a car.
yeah.
Great, but where are we going?
Where are we going?
And then the most dramatic scene is literally Rati's sitting on the bench, and I'm sitting there with her, and hearing you screaming with the nurses and doctors, trying to be like, give us our CDs, give us our scans.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, you can't have them. We're like, we're taking it. And then you freak out.
So Madhu goes back in to see what's going on with you. And I'm sitting there spiraling. And I'm like, I look at my arm and I'm like, they didn't take this. I kept asking for them to take the IV port out. I'm not thinking logically. I'm having a full panic attack. I rip the IV port out of my arm. Now my arm's spurting blood all over the place. Literally, I'm getting blood on me. I'm getting blood on the
it's not actually exaggeration. It was like
spurting. No, that's what happens.
Yeah,
That's why
wild.
after you take an IV out, if
Wild.
you've ever had an IV or needle, they press it immediately because otherwise it will gush blood. Didn't do that. Wasn't thinking. Ripped it. Blood spewing everywhere.
Then I think you came back and got me. You were like, Shri, forget the CDs.
Yeah. I was like, I need your help.
What was on?
Yeah.
Because this was the first time I was like, I actually don't. This is above my pay.
Madhu came out.
I don't know what to
Yes.
do in this
Madhu
situation.
came out, looked at me, and was like,
Well, and your eyes were rolling. Her eyes were like she was losing so much
Yes.
blood, and I was freaked out.
You were like,
she's covered in blood.
I'm like, yeah, obviously. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's like?
I like grabbed her. I like grabbed her arm. I didn't even know what to. I was like grabbed her arm to try to like stop the bleeding.
and I was like, go get paper towels. So he goes and gets paper towels.
I remember these people walked by and
We're just like so free, as if it couldn't get worse. They're like saying this happened. They're like,
Like
I
an
think
actual
they might have even turned around.
Yeah.
So scared.
So Madhu goes and gets paper towels. Then he's talking to Shri like, we need to just leave. We need to go. At this point, I am starting to I didn't fully lose consciousness, but I am starting to go out. Like it's happening. So I'm starting to go out.
Yeah, but then Shri saves the day. She comes in. I mean, just to kind of, this is like, as it starts to wrap up, it's like, this is where yet again Shri saves the day. She comes in, she sets us up, and we're like
100% save the day.
10 times that day.
I remember seeing an office chair.
And so she goes and finds a blue office chair, and we're like, this isn't
There
gonna
was
work.
no wheelchair. They wouldn't let us take the wheelchair.
They wouldn't let
Like,
us have
you
a
can't
wheelchair.
take- I'm like, you're okay. I understand it's your fucking wheelchair. I get like that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
It
yeah.
actually makes sense. So then I went to go find one on my
In the
own.
abandoned part
Yeah,
of the
but then
hospital.
there was none.
Yeah.
So I did find an office chair.
But then you wound up finding a broken wheelchair,
yes.
which only had it was
The one
missing.
side.
It was missing the foot stirrups, wherever you go, except for on the left side, so it was perfect.
Yes.
And so we like get her, and I call an Uber.
Yes.
You found this decent hotel, only decent hotel, in the city. We like get to the Uber driver, and this was like insane because the Uber driver's like freaking out, like, what's happening?
He was also stressed because he's like, why are you at the COVID hospital? Do you have
Yeah,
COVID?
and I was like, oh,
no.
And
They brought us to the
I
wrong
straight up, I
hospital.
lie. I go,
Yeah.
they dropped us off here. We need to go to the hotel. We're so overwhelmed. And so they do that. And he's freaking out. And so we're trying to steal the wheelchair to get her around. And the nurses run out like, you can't have the wheelchair. They're stealing from us. We're like, oh, we're so sorry. The guy speaks, fortunately, the Uber driver fortunately spoke a little English, but like they take it back. So anyway, we finally get in the car. She's comatose.
Catatonic.
Catatonic.
We couldn't take the wheelchair.
No, they pulled it away. So we like hop her in, and then we like try to get some medicine.
But then we went to a pharmacy in like the red light district.
In the red
it was
light
like the only one that was open.
Yeah, there were prostitutes everywhere.
Literally.
All over the streets.
This was. I honestly felt better being there.
100%.
And where we were.
Yeah, I was like,
literally.
okay, we're going to a hotel.
You like went and
Rati's
got
not
medicine.
dead. Neither is Madhu.
I know.
Like they're in pain. We're gonna get some like pain medic, like at least ibuprofen or something. Whatever. Anyway.
And so you finally get something. We get to the hotel. We're in shambles, but then we finally get into a room. And I mean, there's a bunch of other things too. We like, you're vomiting, shrieking. You have to like get on a
baggage cart.
something. We like,
Oh my God.
it was a whole crazy, but anyway, like that's what happened in Greece. Fortunately though, we flew back, and then as soon as we arrived in the US, we went right to the ER, and they treated us really nicely. Anyway, and then it was a series of months before I get back to work, and a long slew of events. But anyway, here's what, like, all that's to say, we're so grateful and we love you so much.
I mean, I sincerely, I never, like, I learned so much about like hospitals in other countries during that extravaganza.
Oh yeah, I definitely became much more grateful for the United States healthcare system.
Yeah, we're so critical in general. But
Yeah.
here's now what I want to ask everyone. Do you guys want to hear more podcasts like this? Because we've got a lot more stories. There's even some other crazy things that happen after this. So if you want to hear more like this, just make sure you download this episode. That'll help us know you like this, and we'll make some more. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Stay tuned for the next one. See you on the next episode of our Conscious Success podcast. And I hope you got a great hoot out of this today. Keep it conscious.